Hello, this is SimSteve. Welcome back to the channel. This is the first episode in our playthrough of Satisfactory. I've been playing this game in the past, since before it was actually released, when it was in the beta stage. I've got about 350 hours in this game so far. I haven't done anything recorded as yet, so what I thought I'd do is do a new playthrough, and there's been a lot of updates since the last time I played it, so we'll get into them, and yeah, we'll get cracking. It's a really long game, so I hope you're in it for the long haul. If you like my content, please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel and it doesn't cost you a penny. So let's dive into it. So what we're going to do is we're going to start a new game. And I'm going to start in the Dune Desert, which is actually the hardest start point. It's one of the hardest start points. If you're new to the game, I'd recommend starting in the grassy fields. There's plenty of stuff around there. It's quite an easy starting location. There's lots of the base materials around. The reason I want to start in the Dune Desert is because planning right to the end is probably where I'm going to have my final mega factory type thing. I'm going to obviously call it SimSteve. I'm also going to enable the skip onboarding process because I've got a lot of hours in the game. I'm just going to explain it as we go. Let's go. So a lot of this is going to be very early game stuff. It's very much walking around, finding resources, collecting leaves and stuff. So tab brings up your inventory. So because we've started already, I started after the intro, we've got some portable miners and a xenozapper, which is biz. One thing to note, if you ever see these plants here, pick them up. So we also want to find some iron ore. Nice high point here, so you hold B, brings up this little wheel. So as you can see, there's quite a few iron ore nodes around here. Together, 209 and 242 seem to be good. Look for a couple together because what we're going to be building here is going to be our kind of starter iron factory. So, to any of you that are new to the game, there is a lot of stuff to build, and when you think, oh yeah, I'm getting somewhere, I'm starting to get somewhere, the game then goes, nah, you're only about 2% of the way through. Ooh, our first enemy. These are good. They just wait till they charge at you and just jump over them, and then walk around them and xenozap them, and then you cut their remains. Feels a bit jittery. I might have to change some settings here. Second. So what we got? Iron ore, normal. So the nodes come in different qualities, let's say. So you get pure, which is the best, normal, and then impure. Basically, it is to do with how much of the resource you get out when you start putting resource extractions on it. So a normal is obviously normal, a pure is I think double, and then an impure is like half. These are portable miners, you just chuck these down like so. And what they do, they extract 40 iron ore a minute, and you have to physically come along and collect them, which is slightly annoying. But so we've got iron. Let's see where our copper is. It seems like a good place because there's an iron there. Oh, there's quite a few coppers in that direction, but there's one over here. Meters. Oh, I'll tell you what, before we forget. So Q is build mode. What we need to do is we need to put the hub down. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually sit it between these two. There though. Yeah, when you're doing anything in the early game, don't get too precious because you're going to delete it all later. So don't worry too much about look pretty or being there, being in exactly the right spot. If it's there or thereabouts, it'll do. Copper's over this way. Doo-doo. So what we're looking out for as we're running around is anything that's grassy, like these. We need grass for our biomass, and because we've chosen this biome, what's this? Oh, Caterium. It's handy to know. Caterium is another material that is quite late game. Well, not late game, middle game. With Satisfactory, it's not really middle game, is it? So basically, we want to collect as much leaves and as much biomass as possible, because it's very limited. So this stuff that you're collecting here, this grass, will grow back. Eventually you can chop the trees down, but they won't grow back. I'm going to get a couple hundred leaves for now. I'm not going to stand here and let you watch me pick leaves up for the next hour. Oh, so these ones, I've been hit. These ones shoot things at you, so you need to get in and get them dead. They like to run away when you get too close, so it's a good idea to get them blacked. Just run at them. Try and jump and dodge, but they're pretty good at guessing where you're going. You have to kind of watch for them about to shoot and then change direction as they shoot. So that's one on the copper, and then the other resource that we have is limestone. I believe there's one this direction. Yep, there we go. There's 2 limestones, that's nice. Oh, no, don't want power poles. So as we're running through the leaves, I'm just going to, what you can do is you can hold E, you don't actually have to keep pressing it every time. Just literally hold it down as you're walking through this stuff, and it's going to collect it. I don't think I should have put my hub so far away. I probably could have done it a bit better. See what I mean? I'm already thinking about moving stuff. We've been going, what, 5 minutes? Track, 60 meters. And here we go. Limestone. Oh, so this is an impure node. So that's really bad. That's what I might say. Do just grab a few limestone sources for here. We need to build the space elevator is our next thing. So this is the space elevator. So if we click add to the to-do list, it tells us on the side here what of everything we need. What we actually want to do is we want to get miners working. And power. Power is here, so here's your biomass burner, so this is what we're after. So we're going to need like 4 of them. And then what we're going to want is we're going to want a couple of constructors and a couple of container storage containers. And I will explain why when we build it. But for now, we'll just keep building. Just keep building, just keep building. So what I'm doing is I'm just collecting a bit of more grass for our biomass burners, whilst I wait for this to pick some stuff up. 20 I'll do for now. This is probably going to be the first one we automate, because it's the one that limestone in the early game is really, 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 as if rare. It's not necessarily rare, but you use it a lot. So when you unlock foundations and you want your buildings to start looking good, you're going to use a lot of foundations and you're going to use a lot of concrete for it. And it's not the quickest thing to make in the early game. Our hub in the distance. Picking up as many of these as we can. So I have to remember that Caterium's there. Oh, there's another tree with these nuts on. So what these nuts do is these are, they're called berry nuts, but they're like health, basically. So what you can do is you can equip them in your hand, and you go yum 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 and eat them. And that would have increased your health if I wasn't on full health. What we'll do is we'll get ourselves a mission out of the hub. So base building is the first one. This is where our foundations come from. This is really where we want to start. And then we want splitters and stuff. So I would probably start with base building. So for that, we need 100 iron plates, which I have, but I want to get this lot moving. So what we'll do is we will pick that up, pick that up. Then this is our crafting bench. So you have to craft iron ingots. I tell you what, let's go get. I didn't pick the copper up today. I'm going to use the power of editing, and I'm going to speed up me hand making all this stuff. So just bear with me. So here we are. The keen eye amongst you would have noticed that I actually added an extra biomass burner in. So what we're going to do, because I think we're going to end up building base around here, I'm going to actually put my biomass burners up here, kind of out of the way. May run out of copper because I only just had enough. What I'll do is I'll get the power poles and everything set up. Biomass burner. Just going to do 2 for now actually, because once we unlock foundations I'm going to redo it all. What I was saying before about you will never be happy and you will always just change everything. That over there. What we wanted to do is I was going to build 2 constructors. Really, really, really janky way of doing this. Don't judge. Everything you see in the early game will be destroyed and will be redone. So don't worry about how crappy it looks. It's my answer. It's completely Heath Robinson. It's completely... Oh, they're not even remotely in line. I wonder if the belt will do it. It'll do it. It's fine. What we'll do, because we don't have any mergers or splitters, what we can do is we can do biomass leaves, and we can put our leaves in. The issue is there's no power to start with, so biomass wood, and we can put our wood in. There's no power to start with, so we have to put some leaves in. So what I'm just going to do is put 90 of each into each, which should give us enough time of power to, so what we're doing, 60, I actually don't need both, do I? Okay, so you see how, now let it fill up with biomass. So we're actually using 10 a minute, but we're producing 60 a minute. So in theory you could run 6 biomass, or 6 biomass burners off 1 constructor. But that's not probably not what we do. Yeah, we were already running out of wire. What I'll do is I'll go and quickly finish this base building achievement. This lot kind of sorts itself out. I've already got 170 stored up. Right, so what I'll do, I'll super speed again, whilst I just run and do all that stuff, and I'll be back. Right, so I think we've got everything together now. So a couple of other things you probably saw me do that I haven't really explained is this is a craft bench. Basically it is what's in your hub, but portable. You can delete it, you can do it. Also I've ran power cables to here because eventually we're going to have other stuff around here that's going to need power. I'm just collecting leaves and wood as much as I can as we go. Just trying to pick a different route. So what we'll do is we'll go back to the hub now. And we'll finish off this base building milestone. That's the right word. And I will redo my biomass boilers. Because I like to get things done properly. I say properly. Some people go into the nth degree designing these things and make them look pretty, but yeah, as you'll probably see, I don't do that. There's also one guy on YouTube, I can't remember his name. He just basically makes spaghetti and it looks amazing. It's complete and utter carnage, but it's amazing. I'm kind of a hybrid of the two. I like to make things look organised, but not spaghettified, but not like too ridiculous. Oh, not enough iron rods. Iron rods. And then you hit the big magic launch button, and then that goes. And then this little thing, whatever it's called, little hovercraft, not hovercraft, spaceship thing, cargo pod, whatever. Flies off. We don't have the space elevator open yet, but it would fly up to the space elevator. Pod, that's what we call it. So, what we need to do now is we need to create a load more iron plates, iron rods to finish our biomass burners, and then we also need to create some iron sheet, some more iron plates that basically will do the when I can get my words out, that will basically make the foundations. So what we can do, because I think these constructors will have finished doing what they're doing. Take the biomass out of there, and then you can actually select the recipe and iron plates. F to delete, by the way, and everything in this game is 100% refundable. So yeah, you can just delete willy-nilly, and it will all come back. That will just go straight back into your inventory. Concrete. Just going to set these two going, and then I can set up another crafting bench. We don't have any rods. Of course we don't. These so what we could do, we could just build some smelters. Oh, no, because we need rods for smelters. Dear. This is a lot of what the early game's like. It's a case of try and build the minimal amount by hand that you possibly can get away with, and then once you've done that, get as much automation set up as quickly as possible. Basically just to save your sanity, so you don't sit here and hand make hundreds upon hundreds of parts. That should probably be enough. Say that the iron plates and iron rods are quite important early game. They're in everything, so basically what we want to try and do is set up as much automation for them as possible, and then basically just have cargo containers ready to fill them up again. So, smelters. I'm not even bothered about which way around they are. Just going to whack two together. Iron ingot. Put 100 in, ironing, put 100 in. And then connect them to your power port and the roadway. That then creates ingots. I've got enough for a third. I do have enough for a third. A quick tip is if you need more. So these power poles only have 4. And obviously I've built 3, and there's a wire coming in and a wire going out. So what you can do is you can click, use your pole, and if you aim for the wire and click like that, if you had a cable, it would build it in the middle, like so it already pre-links either side of it, which is nice. It's very handy for when you inevitably run out, which you do a lot. Just being able to sneak another connection point in is great. What do I need now? So I still need some. Oh, I'll tell you what, I've been an idiot and I've run ourselves out of wire. That happens a lot as well. You're like, oh, I need a load of cable. What I'll do is I'll batch make a load of cable. And it's like, damn, now I don't have enough wire. Go collect some more copper ore. Go make some more ingots. That is just satisfactory early life. As I say, once we get these first few steps automated, the grind becomes a lot less grindy. For completion, sorry, OCD and all that. Are these done yet? So red means there's a problem. Green means it's running. Yellow means it's run out of something, or is full. Yellow means there's an issue, basically. You can put 100 in there. See how much easier this is. Having these create your ingots for you. That's ingots, and then we run up here. I'll build a ramp eventually. Because I do like the biomass burners being up here. It's a nice idea. So if you control and click, it automatically fills it to like the maximum amount that the input can take. I want to build a and build a lot of iron rods. So plates are being made by the constructor. Like myself. Actually, I won't. Right in a minute. See, the problem is, whilst it's nice, it is much quicker to craft stuff in this. So that's about 60 a minute in there. You're only getting 20. So if we're just going to sit and do it, it's sit and wait. It's better to always do it in your crafting table like this. Once I get to 100, I'll put the rest back in there. Ah, whatever. Should be enough. So, is this done? That's done. So we'll delete that. How much power have we got? So if you press E on a power pole, it tells you capacity. So each biomass boiler is 30 megawatts. We've got 2, so we've got 60. What tells you what our consumption is, what our maximum consumption is, which is, so consumption is what you're actually doing. Maximum consumption is if every machine was working to its full capacity. And then production is how much we're actually producing. So at the minute, the biomass boilers do as much as they need to do. Whereas when you get into the later game, like coal and fuel, they just do an amount, and your production is always, you always aim for your production to be more than your maximum consumption. Otherwise you start getting power cuts. So, right, what we'll do is we will delete the biomass boilers. I'll delete one. Then what I'll do is I will start my foundations from the high point, which is about here somewhere. Foundations. So the different thicknesses of foundations don't cost any different. So when you're doing this, you just pick the big one. Actually, I don't know. I'm going to pick the little one. Because I want it to be on the high point. I want it to be a 2 meter one. Basically what I'm doing here is I'm pressing control and that snaps it to what's called the world grid. World grid is if I built another base over on that rock, so long as I started my foundations holding Q, holding control, sorry, they would be not on the same level, but within a meter or so, like within a snapping point of being the right level. So you can build through things like this. Oops. That happens a lot, building random foundations into walls. So what we can do is we want to think about how we're going to set this up. So basically what we're going to have is we're going to have a storage container which has our leaves and our wood in that we collect. So we want so going into our constructor, then goes into another storage container. How big are the storage containers? So a constructor is a full foundation wide. Again, I've pressed H here, which freezes it, and then you can use the arrow keys to move it. So that's one. And basically we want one storage container for wood. I'm going to put leaves into there. And have we got any wood? Yeah, we have got some wood, and wood into that one. And then these are quite good because they've got ladders on. Height is always good and satisfactory. To produce. Well, it's time to pull the plug. We officially have no power. So we want a constructor in front of this one. Space is limited, so I'm going to try and get fairly close. And then you want to biomass leaves. Put conveyor belt in. Conveyor belt in. And then that one wants to be biomass wood. So what you do is you go around, you collect your stuff, and you put the right stuff into the right containers. These automatically convert into biomass, which at the minute is then going to go straight into, because we haven't unlocked, have we got enough? Have we got enough to unlock the splitters and mergers? Because they're helpful. Logistics. Convey splitters and mergers. 150, 150, 300. I don't think we do. No, we do not. And I've pulled the plug on the power. Nice. Well, we'll do it the janky way, and we'll just bodge it together for now, and I'll fix it later. Which, again, is probably the motto of most Satisfactory plays. I've built this on somewhere I can't even get up, haven't I? Dear. What an idiot. Are we unlocked? Oh, we have unlocked ramps. It's fine. Although I've run out of concrete. This is going well. Again, this is the life of a Satisfactory player. Ramp. So they go into there, and then what I'm going to do is just put a biomass boiler at the end of each one. Find the right button there. So again, the biomass boilers are nicely a full one apart. You into you, and you in you into you. So we want a power pole there, and we want to connect these two. And then, so we're not going to have enough points, so we're going to have to put two onto a separate pole. And yeah, just put some biomass in that one. Some biomass in that one. And they should run. So what you can do is if you've got excess biomass and you don't want it in your inventory, you can just go boop and put it into there, and that gets rid of it. It adds it to your production line. So we have power. That one to that one. And we have power again. So we need concrete. In order to make concrete, we need, and we're going to need a lot of concrete. So miner mark 1 and a constructor. So all we need to make that is actually some concrete. Let's just take these, pop them into there. Whilst we're over there, it would also make sense to put 2 smelters on the copper node. Again, we just need concrete. Just to start making some copper so that we can make some wire. Basically, this is kind of early game, so you just start expanding really. Start adding automations where you can. Start running through your milestones. Generally start automating. Every time you go anywhere, collect as much leaves and stuff as you can. Don't go too crazy, but definitely collect leaves. So what we'll do is we'll put some smelters here. Connect them to the power grid. Got copper in there. Yeah. Right, let's go to the concrete one, and we're going to build our first extractor. Or our first miner, should I say. Every game calls things differently. There are that many different games, I always get confused with the actual names. So I'll try to keep on track. So a miner. The handy thing about running the power cables, is I don't know if you noticed in the super speed one, is that I got a little bit lost. I forgot where I was going. So if I pick that up. Oh, I haven't got concrete over. Crafting bench. Some concrete. So I'm not going to have enough concrete and stuff to do foundations yet. And to oh dear, don't know how I ended up in there. Yeah, not going to have enough concrete to do the actual thing. So 30 a minute limestone. Constructor, straight into the constructor. Basically. And then this is where we start doing math. So we do 45 minutes, so we don't have to worry about it. It's not going to do full capacity. So this is because it's an impure node. You only get 30. If that was a normal, you'd get 60. And I think if it's pure, you get 120. It obviously makes a big difference which node you're picking up. So I'm just going to let that run, that concrete now. What we could do, have we got enough for storage container? We do. Is we could just bash it straight into a storage container. So concrete's quite good, it stacks in like 500s or something, but you know, if you forget to come back, then basically it just fills the container. So later on we're going to be belting everything into containers to start with, before putting it into the next level and then carrying on and carrying on. What I could do is we can see what we've got in terms of power. See if we've got any power left, or if I need to build some more burners. We're at 33, so we're higher than one burner can cope with, but we're not higher than both. So we can belt these copper into some more constructors. A bit stuck there. Gonna have to be our last constructor for now, because we haven't got any reinforced plates. Put on there. Put a belt right there. So this one makes 30. Wire is 15, so actually we can run 2 of these off every one of them. we haven't unlocked splitters yet. So it's just going to have to be like that. But every now and again we can just periodically come back and take the... Oh wait, hang on. We haven't got a miner on there anyway, have we? Got enough for a miner? Oh, we need concrete. Oh dear, concrete. The bin of my life. Right, let's head back that way. Pick up some more concrete. Now we could just do a miner straight into the copper. Again, copper's another one that stacks really well, so I'll still put a cargo container there for completion, but how much concrete we've got? See? 27. It's a start, and it gets us enough. Get this wire moving, then we'll go back and make some plates and rods. So we'll get our logistics done. Oh dear. So if you've got any questions, guys, please feel free to put them in the comments. I do always read the comments, and I do try and get back to everybody that has a question. Obviously, if there's lots, then yeah, I can't, but I do try my best. So that is one full copper production. So we get 60. So it's a normal C, and we get 60 a minute. Yeah, okay. Yeah, at the minute all we can do with copper is make wire. So it seems that this is far out producing the thing, we can just leave it. So let's go back and we will do another super speed thing probably. Nobody wants to sit there and watch me craft 150 rods and 150 plates by hand. I guess I gotta automate them. Oh, there's another tip to say. I learnt this off one of the Satisfactory speedrunners. Yep, surprisingly that is the thing. If you tap C to slide and then press space, you actually move quicker than if you just run. Which is strange, but you know. I don't know how these people work these things out, but it is apparently better. Right, I'll go and put my stuff up in the boilers. Show you how that process works. Okay, the process, it just remembers that wood goes in one and leaves go in the other. Back, left a bit of space. Wood in that one. Leaves in that one. And we're running. My worry here is we don't get as much wood as we do leaves, but we do produce a lot more wood from each biome, I think. So that's got 200 stored up, and that's got 194 stored up. So we've got plenty to be going at. What I will do is we've got two smelters. So if I wait, we can figure out what we're on normal. So that should be 60. 60. Yeah, in over a minute. So again, everything's 100% refundable. So don't worry about moving everything. Don't worry about moving everything multiple times. For now, it can just go straight into 1, 2. Power pole there. That can go into there. Power pole here. That can do these two. Belt that one into there. So that's producing 60. These only do 30, sorry, I stand corrected. So we can run 2 from every miner, but basically we don't have splitters yet, and that's what we're working towards. So constructor. I'd like to build 2 constructors, please, but I need reinforced iron plates, which we haven't actually unlocked how to build officially. Basically, it's iron plates and screws. Just quickly whip up some iron. So I want 4. So an amount of screws. So the little number in the square brackets here is how many you can make with the resources that you have. There we go, that's 4. That's handy to know when you're like working towards it. Build 2 new constructors. Now, these are wider than the smelters, so actually, is that even going to fit? It does fit just. And I've run out of iron plates. Build iron plates. So what we're going to do, another power pole here. Turn these 2 off. How are we doing for power? The maximum consumption is 55 and our capacity is 60. So I would now be thinking maybe we're at capacity. 5. Come on, build me 1 more. There. So there. Done. So that's produced 9 ingots, and then that can produce iron rods. There we go. We are officially producing everything that is on that list. So what I'll do, I will leave you and I will do the super speed. Keep feeding the iron ore into there. So we'll do the super speed and I'll come back once I have everything ready for logistics. Right, so here we are, we've crafted everything we needed to craft, created everything we needed to create, and we have unlocked logistics. So, I want to produce more biomass spoilers. We need a lot more iron plates. Well, that's fine. Iron plates are being produced. So, what I can finally do is fix my biomass spoilers. So, again, height's always good in this game, so I'm happy with the setup up to this point. What we can do is we can delete off these. Now we need to be careful because everything's going to go off anyway, it makes no difference. So what we'll do is we'll bin that off. Yep, flues blown, I know. So you want to be watching out for that symbol at the top to say your flues is blown. That's what we want to do. Organization. Sorry. So we want to merge it. Conveyor belt into there and conveyor belt into there. So also a new thing for this one is you can press R, which changes your build mode. Previously you used to have to like try and guess it to get it to go straight. So what we're then going to do is we're going to go into a storage container. The limiting factor here is the belt speed. Then we're basically just going to have come up this way and have some biomass spoilers. Power, biomass burner. You'll notice that these actually have inputs now. These never used to. These used to be hand fed, would you believe? The only way you could use your biomass boiler was to hand feed it. So, sure. Because I like everything to be straight, so that's just inside there. There. 6. Splitter. Should be right. Making sure so you scroll, using your scroll wheel moves it around. So making sure that the orange one is the in. Towards where we want it to be. So that's that belted in. Put that in there. 10 a minute. So we are limited by the belts to 60 a minute. Too far over this way, aren't I? Right, I don't like that. It's being moved. This is Satisfactory. 101. If you don't like it, delete it, move it. Hang on, that was a merger, wasn't it? Also, check that you're using a merger or a splitter. Yeah, I like straight belts, but I'm not that bothered. There. So that's 2. What we're going to do is we're going to build a 4. Oop. Oop. But, also, everything I do, I kind of think about expansion. So what we can do is we actually build 6. So we just would add 2 more foundations on if I hadn't run out of iron plates. That was a bad idea. Yep. So you can, there is fall damage. You can die if you fall off something really tall. Don't do it. Now there's no power. Come on. Oh, I know why. Because I haven't actually connected them, have I? Come on. There we go. I'm in. I'm alive. And there's my ramp. So, coming into here, let's sort the cabling out. Power pole there. Biomass boiler. Power pole there. Another thing I like to do is I like to keep the poles in like logical places. Here. That one. Oop. Bada bing, bada boom. And that one. I can get up. So we want another biomass boiler there. Little plates. So what I'll do for now is I'll just put it there. Pretty sure that's exactly in the wrong place, but this is why we can move things. That powers everything back up again. Blow your fuse. Because when you blow your fuse and you see that notification appear, you have to then manually go and reset your fuse. Always remember to reset your fuses. Do working. So now we've got 120 capacity and we're only using 55. Lovely. So also, we're starting to get some biomass backed up into there. I can also empty from my inventory into the container. So this is coming out at constant 60. What it's going to do is it's going to fill each one of these up, should back up and then into there. So assuming we keep this end stocked with leaves, or is that wood? That one was wood. Yep, see, then you have to delete the belt. Back in. Put wood in. Let's check, that's 300 a minute from wood. Was that 60? 60 a minute from leaves. So that one with leaves just copes with the belt, so yeah, good to remember. Oh, that's the next thing we want to unlock is field research. Or is there anything better in here? Solid biofuel is good. Let's do that one. Also, you get a chainsaw. I mean, who doesn't like a chainsaw, really? So, screws, which is basically rods, and cable, which is wire, and then concrete, which is just concrete. Yeah, okay, what I'll do. Super speed again, and I'll see you in a second. So, here we are. We are ready to finish off this next one. So we've unlocked new equipment and new parts. So what we want to build is the equipment workshop. This is where you build all your equipment. I did use it in one of the super speed moments to build some portable miners, because you build them here. We also want to build a chainsaw, so we want 5 reinforced iron plates and a load more screws. Let's quickly build them. Gonna take a little bit, but basically that unlocks the chainsaw then, and then we want to also unlocks another solid biofuel thing. So you know we just created all that biomass. We now need to change it all. Again, typical Satisfactory experience is that you build everything, you realise that you haven't left enough space, and have to rebuild it all. I've got 5, that gives us 5 reinforced end plates, chainsaw, so we need some more screws and some more rods. So screws and rods are fine, we've got some, you're not working. You in there, pick you up, rods are over here. Nope, build some more screws. Oh no, did I need screws? I can't remember. Yeah, 160 screws. And then build a chainsaw. So, chainsaw can now go to our hands. And here she is. One chainsaw. So, that allows us to chop down some trees now. Also, what we need in order to run said chainsaw is some solid biofuel. So, we need to create some biomass, which we'll do like that. Can create some solid biofuel. This becomes the fuel for our chainsaw. Solid biofuel is good because one, it adds another step, but also it burns longer. So I believe for every like bit of grass, let's say, you end up getting more fuel out of it, and it lasts longer, sort of thing. So it should save us having to collect as much grass and stuff. What I need to do, really need to build a ramp, is basically rethink everything I've just done. So we can either route these straight into another assembler, but what I actually might do is run it off this way into another. Oh, well, another thing you can do is you can press R here, which is zoop, and you click once, and you can go like that, and you can put 3 foundations down together. Which saves time. We need reinforced iron plates. Screws. More screws. We need 2 reinforced iron plates. So we'll put over here. Kind of line it up with the end of this. Delete that off. Round into U. Pretty well aligned. So I want to select solid biofuel as the recipe. So we want 120 minutes in. So we're not going to do that. We're only going to get 60 because of the belt. That then produces 60 of them. So then I want to delete that foundation, don't need it. Put another one around here. Another storage container. I like to build buffers into my factories. People will be like, oh no, you just need to like just get everything. It's not the right place. Just get everything balanced and all that. But I actually like to build buffers because one, it means if you ever need some of the parts, you can just come and get them. I didn't want to do that. Also, it means if anything breaks, you've got a bit more time to figure it out. So like, for example, if they stop working, there's some buffer here. And then if that stops working, there's some buffer here. Basically, is the way I like to go. Got any bio? I haven't picked up any biomass, have we? No. They're coming out. Then what we want to do is we want to belt that into here. So we're going to put a straight one into here. Like so. And like so. And basically the solid biofuel should come out. And we can be replaced in these biomass blowers. So what you can do is you can right click. See, look, 4 per minute. That's naff all. Again, right click again. Basically, every time you right click, it splits in half. They should start filling up now. Pull that out of there. So what will happen actually is they'll sit on the end of the belt until it runs out of biomass, and then it'll start sucking them in. Look. So if you pre-prime, let's say, the belts, then yeah. So let's do the math. This belt is limited to 60, I believe. Logistics. 60 resources a minute, which means that this is limited to 60, which means that this is only ever 30. So 30, I think you can do. Some way you can do it in the game, but I'll do it. 30 divided by 4 is 7.5 constructors, biomass. But again, we're limited heavily by this. Well, actually we're limited by the belts, but they should run fine. For now. what I'll do is I'll go put the wood in that we've got, which is there, only 16. And then we've got leaves. That's not wood. Idiot. That's the wood. That was bound to have, wasn't it? So have we actually got some? We've got 16 for ourselves. Let's just go in there. Got lots of biomass banked up ready. So, well, again, we could do the maths. So if we've got, find my calculator, 2, 4, 6, 8. So if we've got 1,200 biomass, divide that by the 60 that we are limited by. That is 20 minutes of production. Which is good. It's a good start. Right, power, anyway. So we've done that. So we've now got 60 consumption, so we're only half. What we want to do now is see what the next milestone is. So, foundations, ramp. How can I do this without it looking silly? You know, it's all about looks. I actually think if we have the ramp coming down the side like this. So again, part of the zoop is the ramps work like that. Our ramp can come down and we can walk up. And yeah, so much easier. Oh, I forgot about the biomass boilers in here. Oh well, we don't need them. On the back of there is the biomass boilers. You unlock them in the original tiers, but we don't need them. It's so much better using the other ones now that they're belted. Right, so that is a normal. Normal as well? Yes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to build up this side of the iron node factory. So we're going to be building... Well, I tell you what, this episode's getting a bit long, isn't it? Yeah, this seems like a good break. What I'll do is I will end this episode here. If you like the content, obviously like and subscribe, as I said before. And in the next one, we'll be sorting out this lot and building a load of iron. Probably sorting out the copper as well. And we'll go from there. I'll see you in the next one.